Hello students, in today's lecture we will discuss disinfection of water by chlorination. Disinfection is very important process when we are treating water for potable use. Potable use means water to be used in the domestic purposes. So disinfection is the last process in water treatment in the municipal water treatment plants, and sometimes we do it at home. So today we will discuss the process of disinfection by chlorination. What is disinfection? This is a process to reduce number of microorganisms within a safe limit. Actually, disinfection never destroys microorganisms completely. Complete destruction of microorganisms is known as sterilization. Sterilization is the process in which we completely destroy the microorganisms, but disinfection is we reduce the number of microorganisms in safe limit. For this disinfection process, we can use any physical agent or any chemical agent. Physical agent is like we can use UV light, we can boil the water, and so many other things. And the chemical agents are when we add chemical to the water. Some chemical is added into the water which destroy the microorganisms. So for this we can add bleaching powder, we can add potassium permanganate, and ozone is also a chemical disinfecting agent. But the most popular and most commonly used is the chlorination, the use of chlorine. Chlorine can be added directly, or it can be added into the form of tablets. So chlorination is actually, it is a chemical disinfection process, and whenever we add chlorine to the water, what happens? It forms hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid is HOCl. It immediately destroys the pathogens. Whenever we add chlorine, you can see here in the chemical reaction, when the pH is less than 5, it used to form hypochlorous acid in HCl. Now this hypochlorous acid is actually the entity responsible for the destruction of microorganism, because when the pH is less than 7, what happens? This hypochlorous acid is dissociated into H plus and hypochlorite ion. Now this HOCl and this hypochlorite ion both are capable of combining with the bacterial membrane and destroying it immediately. But some theories says that HOCl is more effective disinfectant as comparison to the hypochlorite ion. So usually we prefer the pH less than 7 so that greater quantity of HOCl can exist in the water and efficient disinfection can be achieved. Now sometimes when organic impurities are present in water, they may have different degree of decomposition, and traces of ammonia may be present in water. So when chlorine is added to such water, what happens? Chloramines are formed. What are chloramines? Chloramines are the stable compound of chlorine and ammonia, and they also have the disinfectant property. So apart from the addition of chlorine generating the HOCl ion and hypochlorite ion, these chloramines are also responsible for the disinfection in water. You can see here the reaction. The ammonia is reacting with this hypochlorous acid to form monochloroamine, which further generate dichloramine and nitrogen trichloramines. These chloramines may remain in water and they may generate chlorine as and when required. So this chloramine is actually responsible for the greater action of chlorine as compared to the other chemical disinfectants. When you add other chemical disinfectant like ozone, like potassium permanganate, like bleaching powder, they are immediately destroyed. You add them, they are consumed in water and they are destroyed. You cannot maintain a residual quantity of them. But the advantage with chlorination is that we can maintain a residual chlorine inside the water, which will actually prevent the contamination of water with some microorganism in future, even after the treatment process. Now here is a term chemical demand. What is chlorine demand of water? So chlorine demand of water is amount of chlorine required to reduce all possible impurities present in water. So that will be the chlorine demand of water. And what is free chlorine residual? Free chlorine residual is the chlorine that is remained in the water after the chlorine demand. It means when we have added sufficient amount of chlorine to reduce all the impurities, now when we add it further, chlorine will not be used for any process, any oxidation process, and whatever amount you are adding to the water will remain in the water as the free chlorine residual. Now a very important term is here, that is breakpoint chlorination. What is breakpoint chlorination? Chlorination is addition of chlorine to water. It will destroy the microorganism and traces of impurities present in water. But how much chlorine we need to add into the water? So in municipal water treatment plant, this term is employed. Chlorine must be added up to the breakpoint. What is breakpoint? Breakpoint is actually the addition of chlorine in sufficient amount that will oxidize the organic matter and the reducing substances and all the free ammonia present in water, and it will leave behind the free chlorine residual, which will possess the disinfection against all the pathogens. This breakpoint chlorination can be explained by this diagram. Here you can see a graph which is plotted between residual chlorine. This residual chlorine is actually the amount of chlorine present in water when we apply some chlorine dose. Here we are taking on x-axis the applied chlorine dose. So applied chlorine dose and residual chlorine dose, when we plot a graph between them, what happens? You can see here in this graph, when you apply chlorine dose, initially in the stage 1, there is no increase in the residual chlorine. The residual chlorine is 0 here. Why is it so? This is due to the instant oxidation of reducing compounds by chlorine. Some impurities are present in the water which may be highly reducing in nature. So when we add chlorine, they are instantly oxidized by chlorine, and because of this there is no residual chlorine present in the water. So initially in the stage 1, what happens? In the stage 1, there is no increase in the residual chlorine when you apply the chlorine dose. In the stage 2, there is a steep increase in the residual chlorine. As you apply the chlorine dose, more and more chlorine dose is applied, there is increase in the residual chlorine. And why is it so? It is due to formation of chloro-organic compounds and chloramines. Now the chlorine combines with the lesser reducing substances in the water, and they are not instantly oxidized, rather first they form compound with the chlorine known as the chloro-organic compound and chloramine, and due to their formation the residual chlorine in the water increases. Now here you can see after this point what happens. This is stage 3 up to here. Stage 3 is suddenly there is fall in the residual chlorine as you further apply the chlorine dose. More and more chlorine dose you are giving, and what happens? Suddenly there is destruction of the chlorine compounds. That is due to now the sufficient chlorine is present to oxidize all the reducing compound and organic impurities and chloramines, and due to increase in the chlorine concentration, what happens? All the impurities present in water are now oxidized. Now it reaches to a minima, and this minima is the break point. This minima is it corresponds to a certain level of residual chlorine concentration, and this gap actually shows the residual chlorine in the water which is not oxidized, which cannot be removed. So this will be constant further because this much amount of residual chlorine will remain in water. Now when you further apply the chlorine dose in the stage 4, what happens? The amount of free chlorine residual increases sharply, and now whatever chlorine you are applying to the water, it will be used for the it will remain in the water in the form of residual chlorine, and it is not used in any of the process because all the impurities have been oxidized. So the purpose of breakpoint is what? The breakpoint chlorination is we need to add chlorine in this much quantity that all the impurities are oxidized and even a residual chlorine concentration is there in the water. So this is the disinfection of water by breakpoint chlorination. There are many advantages of breakpoint chlorination. When the chlorination is done up to breakpoint, it ensures that all the impurities are already oxidized. It ensures that the water is now having some residual chlorine concentration which will prevent further contamination of water. Now the breakpoint chlorination is actually also very much required because it gives us an idea that how much amount of chlorine is to be added to the water. It is because if you add a huge quantity of chlorine in water, you cannot use it at in your domestic purposes. It impart a taste, it impart a particular smell to the water. So you cannot add enormous quantity of chlorine into the water. So how to measure how much quantity is to be added? This breakpoint chlorination is done. So thank you for now.